Hello, everyone. This is the California Freedom Alliance with your host, Alexander Horat. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the biggest attack on our freedoms in Tuolumne County's history, and that is the Climate Action Plan. So, I'm going to be sharing the screen to show you this crazy plan. So, basically, these are measures. So, the actual document is 117 pages. So, I'm going to be leaving the link in the description. So, hopefully, you could read it all. But for this video, we're only going to be able to show some of the measures that they're going to be putting on. So this is actual basically policy that they're putting on. So measure 1.1, encourage residents and visitors to walk, bike, or use other modes of active transportation. And that's actually one thing that they want to do is get rid of off-road vehicles to start with. So they're going to be closing down all the trails. They actually said that at a county meeting recently that I attended. So basically, how they want Tuolumne County to look like is 1980s China, where everybody's riding bicycles or walking and no cars, because they want to get rid of all gasoline engines. That's part of this plan in our little county. And basically, a lot of people are elderly. They're not going to be able to bike ride miles and miles, since we're not a small little city like San Francisco where all goods and services are close together. So this is going to cause some major issues. So reduce air pollution from off-road vehicles and equipment. That means getting rid of them. And here's one of the most crazy measures, measure 2.4, improve indoor air quality by replacing wood-burning fireplaces and other wood-burning appliances. So it seems like they're probably most likely going to make a county task force to be going into people's homes to get rid of wood-burning fireplaces. So you can no longer have your fireplace as part of this measure. You're not even allowed to burn wood now. You have to use electric. And when the power goes out in the wintertime, you're going to have no heat and possibly freeze to death. So that's another great idea on their plan. And it's pretty nuts. So increase the use of defensible space strategies to reduce wildfire property damage for properties located in high wildfire risk zones. So we're not sure exactly what they're doing with that. So we're going to just keep going down. You can read the measures as they go down. So here's another one, measure 1.3, conserve areas such as wildlife, habitat and corridors, wetlands, watersheds, and groundwater recharge areas that provide carbon okay, I can't even pronounce that, benefits. So what does that mean, everybody? That means no digging for new groundwater. That means getting rid of wells. That's something California has been wanting to do for a long time because they want you to rely on the public water. But that's really going to hurt us, especially in areas of the county where you can't have TUD up and come to your house. And basically, it's getting rid of, your wells. And it's pretty crazy idea. And that's another thing that they want to do to ruin, life in our small county, to make us move to the big cities. So that's just another thing that I wanted to talk about. Increase construction and demolition diversion rates. So what does that mean? That means it's going to be harder to build new housing. It's going to be harder to get rid of, the city blight, for instance. And basically, that's just going to make it harder to live here because rents are going to increase because construction rates have increased. So that's going to make it so less housing is going to be created. So we're going to go down. Increase energy efficiency and climate resiliency in all new buildings. So that's going to cost a lot of money. Measure 1.2, require all new county-owned buildings and facilities to be energy efficient and climate resilient. So that's going to be put down to the taxpayer. And another thing too, Tuolumne County has very little industry. The biggest, pollution that they don't even talk about are wildfires that create the most pollution, but those have been going on for thousands of years and they're completely natural part of the planet's whole ecosystem. So that's another thing, another topic. So increase energy efficiency and climate resiliency in existing residential and non-residential buildings. So let's just keep going down a little bit. Measure 1.1, incorporate climate projections and considerations into future county infrastructure projects as the capital improvement project processes. So that's another thing that they're trying to do. So let's keep going down. Work with TCT to convert its transit fleet to electric vehicles and other alternatively fueled vehicles. So that's going to cost the county millions of dollars. And another thing I would like to point out to you is that the county, when I asked the question, do they have a cost analysis for all these measures? They said no. So we're just going to pass it without knowing how much it's going to cost the taxpayer, the county, and everyone else. So that right there is going to cost a few $1,000,000, I'm sure, because electric vehicles are not cheap. And that's going to force people to basically get a new electric vehicle and get rid of their old vehicles, basically helping the corporations because you have to buy a new thing every 5 minutes. Measure 3.1, support and encourage the adoption of low emission vehicles and EVs. Measure 4.1, one of the most crazy, transition to 100% clean energy. Oh, that's great. Well, I don't really think anything is clean because, these solar panels, they get in the landfill and they're actually really toxic and among other things. So they basically, what they mean by that, everyone, is getting rid of gasoline engines, including for, lawnmowers. So that's really going to make it hard for people to cut their grass, and also for chainsaws as well. And that's going to make it very hard to prevent forest fires as well. So that's another thing. Measure 5.1. This is something they've already been moving into with TUD and the California state government. Reduce water consumption. That's why they want to get rid of wells, because then they completely control you with government water. And pretty crazy, they want to reduce water consumption. So that means either decreasing the population or decreasing livestock, and also growing for things like wheat and stuff. And that's actually part of their plan. So that's crazy. So I'm going to continue to go down, increase the use of green infrastructure in county projects. And the amazing thing about these policies and these measures, everyone, is that they make us so bland, so open for interpretation. It basically allows the county to do anything they want, basically complete government power. So strengthen broadband connections and access throughout the county. Oh, so does that mean more 5G? How much is that going to cost the taxpayers? Measure 1.1, implement best practices for livestock management. So they basically don't want people to have livestock. Transition to electric or alternatively fueled agricultural equipment. The farmers already, having a bad state right now. They barely can pay for their stuff, and now you want them to get brand new electric equipment. That's really going to hurt the farmer. So hopefully the Farm Bureau can actually go against this and, try doing something. And here's another thing. Reduce open burning, agricultural burning, backyard burning. So what does that mean, everyone? That means that they're going to not be giving permits for you to burn, your own basically green waste. And that's going to increase the fire danger because the government does that quite a bit. They're called controlled burns. That's to get, fire danger down. And they're going to make you pay to go to the slash pile. And that costs quite a bit of money. So that's really going to be hurting the elderly, the poor, and yeah, just completely crazy. Measure 5.1, reduce water consumption for irrigation and agriculture. Okay, so now they don't want us growing any crops or anything. So that's a completely nutty plan. So I'm going to continue going down. Support workers and businesses in preparing for climate change related economic impacts on agriculture and forestry operations. Wow. So that's just a little bit of this plan, everybody. This is completely, it's going to ruin our county. It's going to cost billions of dollars. It's basically going to force tens of thousands to move out of the county. And this is what the Board of Supervisors is doing. And the whole reason why this started is from a man called John Buckley. And he owns basically an environmental research center in Twain Harte. And what basically their biggest source of income is from grants. And I try to find out where these grants are coming from. But usually a grant is typically coming from the government. So they're the people really behind this, along with a lot of county employees. And it's completely crazy because, the taxpayer didn't ask for this plan. The people didn't ask for this plan. This is completely, going against the rule of law, in my opinion. And it's completely crazy. So he's been instrumental in making this plan. The California government really wants this plan. because they don't want you to do anything. They're actually buying, water rights from farmers right now. So we can't have access to water because those who control the water effectively control all the land. And that's actually what Mr. Buckley has been trying to do. He's been trying to stop TUD from buying the water rights from PG&E. And basically that's stopping, and this is something the county supported, so I hope the Board of Supervisors remembers this, which I'm sure they do, that you wanted local control over the water rights. But now PG&E is saying, oh, we don't want to sell it to you anymore. And what is that going to cause? That's going to probably cause who's going to be the buyer? That's probably going to be the California state government. And then we're not going to have access to any of that water, or it'll be going to San Francisco or, one of these. And then TUD, isn't going to have any water rights anymore. So this is completely crazy, this plan. I would encourage everyone who's watching this video to please share it with their friends, everyone they can. And please join the California Freedom Alliance in stopping this. We need to make it to every county meeting to voice our opinion against this, because this is crazy. It's really going to be hurting, our whole county. And, just this document itself cost, tens of thousands of dollars to make. So it's just time for us to stand up against this, because if we don't, it's basically the end of Tuolumne County. And I really don't like saying that, but it really is, because it's getting rid of the rural way of life. This type of plan is really only made for the big cities, but even there, I think it's a really bad idea. It's actually a terrible idea because it's forcing us to do what the government wants. So I just wanted to inform you all about this for all who didn't know. And I would just like to thank you for watching this video. And I just hope you all have a good day. God bless you.